Hey Fred, you need to unmute.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week midweek boost. Welcome to the Global Truth Center Toronto. We're so happy that you're here. Right now, I'd like to introduce our wonderful and magnificent Pierre Gautreau, who is our musician. Welcome, Pierre. Take it away. Open us up.
Thank you. Have you ever wondered where the time went? Before you know it, the time's been spent. Enjoy the moments, that's what life's all about. And it's okay if you don't got it all figured out. That's what life's about. Don't wait another day to start living your own way. Use your voice, say what you gotta say. And if you have any doubts, you're human, that's what being human is about. That's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. Figure it out, that's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. That's what life's about. Time isn't waiting for you. What does your heart say to do? Do something you're afraid to try. We only live once, and then we die. You can laugh, you can love, you can rage, whisper or shout. Just get it all done before you check out. That's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. Figure it out, that's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. That's what life's about. All is going so fast. Most of this song's in the past. Take those chances when you get them. You'll never know if you don't take them. Everybody's got stuff to work out. We're here to help each other out. That's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. Figure it out, that's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. Figure it out, that's what life's about. Figure it out, that's what life's about. Life's about to figure it out. That's what life's about.
Hey. Wonderful. Now listen, is that a Pierre Gautreau original?
It is a new original of mine. Yes, it is.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Well, thank you.
That is what life is about, isn't it?
That's what life's about.
I love the phrase in there that said most of the song is already in the past.
I know.
Right? Because the second, this minute, and there we are, right? So Brilliant song.
Thank you.
Uplifting, joy-filled. That's exactly what we need to open us up. Awesome.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, Pierre. We'll
Okay.
see you in a bit.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. Okay. So I wanted to say just welcome everybody. Welcome here to this midweek boost, this midweek break. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of showing up and agreeing to shift the energy. And I know we're going to do that tonight. So welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, go to our website and try and figure out, you can figure out who we are, what we're all about. And for those of you who've been here a lot, welcome back. I would just like to start this night by basically coming together and just bringing us into this moment. So it's comfortable for you to do so. Just close your eyes and just recognize that you're here on purpose, that we're here and we're here for love. And whether we call it love, joy, peace, whatever, Pierre, whatever name we give it, that it's just the substance of everything. It is the divine essence that is here right now and flows through each and every one of us. And recognize that we are all connected to one another. We're all connected through this universe, through this energy in this universe. And as individualized expressions of whatever that is, whatever that energy is, then that is what is the growing force. That is what brings us through life. That is that little thing inside of you that knows, and it knows you, and it knows your truth, and it knows your love, and it knows your light. And even when circumstances are not showing up the way that you want them to show up, know that that light is inside, and know that that is what is connecting you here tonight. Let go of everything that happened before this moment. You are here right now on purpose, bringing your consciousness to this place because this is where you need to be. So with that said, I am grateful for you showing up. I'm grateful for the team that's putting this presentation together and recognizing that this technology is here to help us get that information, that love, that joy, that peace, and shifting that energy from wherever we are out. So I'm grateful for that. And I simply let it go. I let go of everything that is before this moment, everything that doesn't serve me. I sit open and ready to absorb what it is that I need to know tonight. And so I simply say, and so it is. And so welcome everyone. As I said, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. We're actually going to start off, we're going to do a meditation, and then I'm going to introduce you to someone, and we're going to have a chat tonight. We're going to get to know somebody through a chat. So I'm very, very excited about that. But for now, what I invite you to do is to slowly move into a nice little place, get yourself comfortable, sit in your place, wherever you are, sit there and just let the next 15 minutes just be part of an experience for you. So I invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortably. If you're watching us laying down, then lay down comfortably. And just come into this moment right here, right now. Let all thoughts that happened anytime before this moment go. Anything that you have on your mind that distracts you or is pulling you away from this moment, simply release it. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths in and then release them on the breath in. We're going to think of love, light, peace, and joy. And on the breath out, we're going to release everything. And I view it in colors like greens and blues. And I breathe in light and love and peace and joy. And I release. Another deep breath in. And I release. Another deep breath in. And I simply release. So as I sit in this moment of clarity, I open my mind to whatever experience it is that I need to experience right here, right now. I can feel myself grounded my body touching the floor, my back resting on solid ground. Everything is connected to this earth. I recognize this connection. I feel it as I feel myself sinking into where I'm sitting. And I feel my feet solidly planted on the floor. So as I recognize this connection to the floor and to the earth, that is my grounding spot. I recognize this light that is inside of me. It's circulating throughout my body. I feel it in my veins. I feel it in my muscles. As they become light and free. And I feel that light energy moving into my muscles and bones and throughout my body. It can be a tingling sensation or a feeling of floating. And it's in that state that I recognize that I am made of the same molecules and atoms as is the air I breathe and as is everything around me. Every sound I hear, every sensation I feel, my sense of smell, all of it is just connected and allows me to go deeper into my subconscious, deeper into that level that is the imagination. This light state of energy where we're actually creating something that we desire in life. This is that point of all possibilities. So as we open up ourselves to the possibilities of everything, we talk about the 4 pillars: health, wealth, creative expression, and relationship, love. In this place of imagination, I want you to imagine yourself sitting at a table, big desk. And on this big desk, there is a book. Beautiful book. And you decide the color of the book. Is it gold? Is it gilded? Is it silver? Is it dark? Is it red? You get to see the book the way that you choose to see this book. Get a solid vision of what that book looks like. Now I want you to take the cover and open the book. And look at the chapters in the book. And you can see those 4 pillars. Health. Chapter 1. So go to chapter 1. and take a look at that page. What is on those pages is your story. What is your understanding of health? As you look down, it's simply a reflection of the story. Are you seeing a story that you enjoy? Are you seeing a story that you want to see? Whatever story that is, you are the writer of that story so far. Allow that to settle in. Remember that it's your interpretation of whatever it is that you're looking at. So you get to interpret what it is that you're seeing in that chapter. It is simply reading a story. There is no judgment. There is no negative feelings around it at all. It just is. And as you come to the end of the chapter on health, chapter 2, wealth, prosperity. Look at the story in chapter 2. Is it the story that you wish to see? What is the story, your story of wealth? What is your interpretation of what is on the pages of your story so far? Is it abundant? Without judgment or negative feelings? Is everything in chapter 2 as you wish to see it so far? And now we go to the next chapter. The next chapter is love or relationship. Open the page and look at the story, your story. What is it that you see? Does your story tell a story of love only? Does your story tell a story of multiple relationships on multiple levels? You get to read the story and interpret the story the way that you need to, without judgment. It simply is where it is so far. And as you look at the last chapter, you see creative expression. Turn to that page. Are you seeing a joy-filled life with creative expression? Are you seeing yourself fulfilled in work, in life? Are you seeing joy in everything so far? without judgment. Release that. That is your story so far. Now turn to chapter 5. We didn't discuss chapter 5. And chapter 5 is your blank slate. It is all the pillars, all under one title. And it is a blank page. Because the truth is, from this moment on, you get to tell the story. You get to decide what is written on those pages. Live in that connected spiritual place where you recognize that we're all the same atoms and all the same molecules as everything around us. And because we are, we get to create the stories that we want to create moving forward. That is what unlimited potential is. And that is what we're here to do, is live in unlimited potential in all of those areas. So I invite you this week to contemplate what it is that you want to write on those pages, what it is you see bubbling up for yourself. When we live in this truth, this sense of joy, this life that we are recognizing that we're responsible for what's written on our pages, our life opens up in ways that we can never even fully know. So with that, I invite you to come back to this place where your feet are connected to the ground and you feel yourself sitting in the chair. And in this state, just be prepared that because of that unlimited potential that you see, it is already unfolding. You are already writing the words that need to be written in your book. Be the author of your own story. I invite you to come back to this place right here, right now, remaining fully grounded and fully in that place of potential. Take a deep breath and release. And with that, I say, Namaste.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing
Ah, thank you, Pierre. That's actually the cap on the meditation.
Perfect.
And I don't know about you, but I know, we're supposed to be involved in the meditation,
Yeah.
and be present. And
Mhm.
I think I went to another place during that meditation, and it literally felt like it was a 5-minute meditation. So,
Wow.
and so that was perfect. Thank you for that beautiful song. And by the way, for the community, just so you know, you've got a gig coming up.
I do. February the 18th, we are
Okay.
playing in Toronto at the Black Swan.
Okay, beautiful. Because I know a lot of the community like to come out and support you. So that's February the 18th. Everybody put it on your calendar.
Black
Black
Swan. Yep.
Swan.
On the
Wonderful.
Danforth. It's right across the street from the Danforth Music Hall.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, I'll talk about it a little bit in the announcements too. Way to go.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you. And with that, it is my distinct pleasure. I said we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight, and we are. We're actually going to have a conversation with the most incredible. I'm so excited. I'm going to introduce Reverend Dr. Liza Marquez. And good evening, Dr. Liza.
Oh my God, Reverend Fred, it is such a pleasure to be here. I actually went to another place too in the middle of your meditation.
Wonderful. So the next chapter, we're working on that right here, right now. I know it. I just want to introduce you to the community a little bit. I'll tell them a little bit about you. Dr. Liza Marquez is a New Thought religious science minister, as well as, I called her Dr. Liza because she got her doctorate in consciousness studies, advanced consciousness studies. And they were at the same place where I got my ministry, which is the Emerson Theological Institute. Dr. Liza is a spiritual speaker. She is a writer. She is an avid traveler. But the most important thing she would say is that she is a mother to 2 amazing and loving souls, her children. And in fact, she says that she credits her children for changing her life's trajectory and inspiring her to live in cause rather than in the effects of it. We always talk about cause and effect. Dr. Liza's passion is to take, I love this, is to take the BS out of our belief system so that we can get grounded and remembering who we are. And it's true, who we truly are in this life.
Yeah.
Dr. Liza knows that life is a cause and effect game. I love that expression. And when you get that you are first cause, you're the creative spark, you're the one, that then you are creating those causes, that you are the creator of those effects. There you go. Mouthful, but I got it out. Welcome, Dr. Liza.
I love it. Thank you for that awesome introduction. I mean, all of it true. Yes, 100%.
True as we go along.
True.
Yeah, wonderful to see you. And we will catch up a little bit. This month is prosperity.
Okay.
And that's our focus. And I know we share the same theme in both centers. You're in LA. And so I just thought I'd ask a couple questions about that, and then we can get into some conversation about who you are so our community can get to know you a little bit.
Sounds lovely. Yes, 100%.
All right, perfect. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, theme I said is prosperity. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's interesting, Reverend Fred, because, when we think of prosperity, we generally tend to think of just financial prosperity, right? And sort of direct that focus in our lives is just, needing prosperity. And so 2 things show up, I believe. First of all, when we talk about prosperity, it really is going back to what you did in the meditation, the 4 corners of your life. Prosperity in, yes, in finances, but also in health, prosperity in relationships, and prosperity in creative expression. Like, when you can find prosperity in all those, you're well-rounded. And if you think that you're finding prosperity in one, then you got to think again. Because prosperity is not something that you go out to get. It's like they say, an inside job. Prosperity is something that you know about yourself. It's our birthright. I think even that's that's in the affirmation, I believe.
That is in the affirmation, yeah. That it's our birthright, absolutely.
Yeah. And the second thing,
Yep.
Sorry. The second thing that I was going to say about prosperity is really, really getting, and I guess I did say it, that it's within. It's coming from within. It's not, my prosperity is never going to be from my job. It's never going to be from getting hired to do something. It's never going to be from outside. It's always going to be what I'm equal to, like what I know that I can actually obtain, then shows up.
One mind. That's exactly what I was going to say. I love the point when you say that it's an inside job, because even health, wealth, all of it is a state of mind. And so what we believe is what's showing up in our existence. And
Completely.
that's why people with no money can live an abundant life. And people with tons of money can sometimes not, because they're afraid of losing it. And so that's not prosperity consciousness, right?
It's not. And by the way, who are we to choose what prosperity is to other people? You know, some of the happiest
Absolutely.
countries don't have the wealth that we have. So are we going to say just because we have more money, we have, you know, somehow our life is better? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people out there that would completely argue with us. And by the way, like my prosperity might be, I might say, you know, X amount is my prosperity, where someone else will be like, well, why is my prosperity? Great. Prosperity, again, is the consciousness that you bring to something.
That's right. It's an energy. It's like everything. It's all the energy, right? That whatever we're putting out there. So for you in particular, then, how is abundance showing up for you in your life? Is there something that is showing up that is just, you're just like, wow?
It's such a great question. I'll tell you why it's a great question, because I am right now in the middle of, you know, moving in a new direction. And not, you know, I'm still being a minister and a doctor and all that, but really kind of opening up my world in a different direction. And the abundance of fear that shows up because of it is very interesting to me. And, you know, I gave a talk a couple of weeks ago about how things show up, how something showed up in my world to show me that I wasn't as committed as I thought I was, you know? And by that, I mean, when you make a decision, make a choice to move in a certain direction, it's interesting how many all these things bubble up, like old beliefs, back to the BS in our belief system, old beliefs that keep us, you know, anchored and safe and comfortable. It's when we start to do something that is not in our comfort zone that there is an abundance that shows up. And I believe that that abundance is there to go, oh my God, thank you so much for bringing that up for me, because what I was able to do, and a lot of it because of this teaching, I mean, you and I went to ministerial school together. What I'm capable of doing now is understanding that it's not out there. If something shows up in me that I'm not enjoying, like if there's a belief in lack or fear, I don't blame other people. I go inside and go, wow, how is this coming up? Why is this showing up? What is the belief behind what I'm thinking in order for this to be coming into my life? And that type of abundance, maybe not abundance, but that type of awareness,
Right.
That type of awareness lets me redirect and show me a greater abundance in life that actually is the abundance that I want to see, in an abundance rich in experiences, an abundance rich in finances, an abundance rich in relationships, by having the ability to look and see and have the awareness of what it is that's showing up that I actually don't want to be experiencing.
Yeah. I love that. And I love even that, because when we live in the blame of something else, then there's nothing for us to do. So we could just then not do the work, not be willing to look at what those roots are. And I always am fascinated because, you know, some people go, well, you know, you're a minister now, you must have it all figured out, right? And the reality is there's still so many layers. I mean, there's a human experience and those things are so rooted in us, right? And so, you know, I look at my life and say, you know what, this is when I know that I'm chosen to do a life of service, because I'm always constantly keeping myself in check. What does it look like? What does it look like? And, you know, there may be layers that are new to someone else, but to me, they're brand new. To me, they're, you know, and you can look at someone else's stuff, and everybody knows this too, even online, everybody knows this. You can look at someone else's stuff and go, I got the answer for that. right? But it's our own work, it's our own excavation inside. And what we have is the tools. And that's the next question that I wanted to ask you is, you've made a very serious commitment to, become a minister, first a practitioner, and then first studying, and then a practitioner, and then you decided to be a minister, and then you go on to become a doctor. I wanted to ask you just basically what it means to you to be living this life, and how that's showing up in service for your Global Truth Center community. Because I think that's a really important question.
Yes, and I'm so grateful that you bring that up, Reverend Fred, because what you said is so dead on. A lot of times, even my children, every now and then, if I'm having a meltdown about whatever, they'll be like, "But Mom, aren't you a minister?" Yes, and
they'll call you on
as
it.
they say in improv, yes, and but it is what I appreciate, and what I'm definitely dedicated to is not that things don't continue to show up, and not that getting a title that's either, practitioner or minister or doctor saying, "Oh, now it's all good." Like you're literally for the rest of your life, Buddha under the Bodhi tree. That's not what's happening. It's just saying like, I have studied enough to know that there are tools that I can actually reach for to turn around what I have created, by the way. No one else is creating it. And after, believe me, I've had cancer, I'm gone through a divorce. I can literally turn around and blame if I feel like it. And believe me, a lot of times, sometimes I'm like, should I? No, I never do, because
it's that bewitching hour, just as you're waking up and you're laying there going, "Oh, everybody's horrible," or whatever. Like it's that you're not quite conscious. It's an unconscious state that is like, "Oh, the world is messed up," and then you go, "Hold on a second here. I need to meditate. I need to."
Yes, I need to regroup.
Yeah.
But that's what this teaching really does, is to like because the spirals happen, as you know, something can come up and all of a sudden and I don't want to say they're terrible spirals, but you'll all of a sudden be in that like, the world, terrible things are happening. And then you go, okay, hold on. That's actually not true. And I don't want my energy to add to that way of looking at life and creating more of it. I want to know that my energy is along the same lines as Gandhi, as Mother Teresa, as Martin Luther King, like people that were dedicated to changing the world and how they view it in spite of what was out there. That's what this teaching does for me. And there's a lot of tools that in my toolbox, but I will tell you, one of my favorite tools is reaching out to you, reaching out to my fellow practitioners, my fellow, ministers, and just being in conversation about this, to just lift my energy, much like you said in treatment. It's the movement of energy in a desired direction. That's what you said. I love that you said it that way.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the tenements of isn't that one of the tenements of our teaching? It's like, what is it that you want? And then as I introduced you, talking about that creative self, that we are the spark. And and in terms of service, like you're the same way. In terms of service, I want to impart that, to let other people know that they have access to that same creative spark within them that I've had, that you've had, and that's when I come into this life of service. That's when I think about service, right? And you're with Global Truth Center LA, as I said.
That's right.
Which is a large community. You get to be face to face. We're still online for now, but there's pluses and minuses, and we can talk about that a little bit or another time for sure. What I want to do though, just before I delve into something else with you, if you don't mind, I just want to say our affirmation and then have our community say it with us once, or twice even, because let's concretize it and say it twice. Well, I'll say it once and then I invite everybody else to join us. And it's very simple. It's, I celebrate my prosperity as my birthright. And then let's say that together, wherever you are, just shout it out. Even if you're in a room and you're wearing headsets and everybody else is going to think you're crazy, just say this. I celebrate
my prosperity as my birthright.
And we're going to do it one more time, just because I like it. I celebrate
my prosperity as my birthright.
Amen to that. Let's an amen or whatever that is.
Amen, namaste, om, all of it.
Absolutely. So listen, I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to check with you. What brought you to New Thought? What brought you to New Thought?
Yeah, thank you. You know, I kept coming, I started dipping my toe in New Thought. You know, I grew up Catholic, and I've always had a rich desire to know about all religions, all philosophies. Like, it's just, I don't know why, it's just been something that has always fascinated me since I was a kid. But specifically to stick to New Thought, and I did a lot of, you know, really amazing retreats and workshops during the time of my divorce, because it was a really, really rough time for me. And I just remember thinking, Reverend Fred, like, I don't want to be bitter the rest of my life. I don't want to be someone who 20 years down the road is still blaming her ex because, you know, the life that I thought was going to happen didn't end up happening, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that. And so I went on a hunt I could feel that I was really kind of tethered to that anger. So I started going to, you know, different religion. Everything spoke to me, but it was New Thought. It was religious science that really, like, it captivated me. And that's, you know, it's a twofold thing, because you get in there and someone's telling you, like, well, you're the creator of your life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so on the one hand, you want to go, yes, I am, if it's really wonderful, but no, if it sucks, I don't want to be creating that.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for that.
Yeah, exactly. Let me be responsible for the good stuff.
I did, though.
Right, exactly. And the others is other people's, not my fault.
Right.
But when I really kind of said, no, I mean, you know, I'm ready to take full responsibility, because I know that if I take full responsibility and I'm really clear that I've created this, then I know that I can create. As horrible as that time was, it was such a gift as well, because I was able to really kind of look at my life and go, I want to shift it, but I want to shift it in such a way that it never, ever changes, no matter what is happening outside. And that's what this teaching is all about, isn't it? It's all about the perspective of knowing who you are. I mean, that's what we say, remember who you are. And, you know, when I was looking at the intro, and even in your meditation, you know, you have a Carl Sagan quote that says, we are made of stuff of stars. We are all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Rumi says we are not just a drop in the ocean, we are the entire ocean and the drop. We are all connected, right? And that's what speaks about this religion and this philosophy. It's a philosophy, really, isn't it? I think that, and I love that you actually said that because the one thing is that if anybody got one thing out of anything that it is, and that is that you get to interpret your life. And putting the blame on other things, that can be easy, and it can create a life. And you may have good reasons. You may have brilliant reasons why you could be blaming other things. But that's what speaks about this religion, is you walk in and it's not something outside of the self, it's something in the self.
Yeah.
And having studied with you and watching how you hold yourself accountable in all areas. I mean, we were in class, I remember some things, I mean, some arguments or discussions, very deep discussions, where people might have been trying to hold on to an old paradigm, and you were like, no, let the BS go.
Yes.
And so that, I think that's what this philosophy attracts, is people who want to sort of step into taking responsibility and living a fulfilled life that they're creating.
Right. And we're constantly creating, you know, they say, absolutely, you know, ignorance of the law excuses no one. That's just right. Because you don't know that this is going on, it's still going on, you know?
Absolutely. Yes or no.
Yes or no. You know, who was it that said, it was Shakespeare. Things are neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so.
That's right. It's what energy we're putting into it.
Yeah. And if you really stop, you know, one of the things that I really ask people to think about when, you know, just talking on one-on-one is, like, start noticing your patterns. Just start noticing what those patterns are. And if you can, notice the thought or belief that shows up right before something like if you have a negative thought or something that's, you know, uncomfortable, you don't like, think about what happened right before that or what you thought right before that.
Right.
And see how that's really kind of informing your experience.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And then start to live from that place. Once you know, you cannot unknow. So
Yeah.
get to the point of allowing yourself to know. Don't hide, don't run, don't, as you said earlier, live in the fear. You know, you could, but don't choose to live there. And it doesn't mean that you can't be fearful moving forward, because fear is a natural human experience and it's there to teach us something. Use it as a roadmap.
Right.
You know what, Dr. Liza, I could spend hours with you, and I know, and I listen. This is just a foray into our community. I wanted to talk about one thing that was funny in class, because you went on to get your doctorate, which is
I did.
I mean, I admire you for doing that, the advanced consciousness study. I was done when I became a minister. I knew that I was done for now, but then I'm like, well, hold on, though, we're not done quite yet. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what world brings.
I don't think you're done. I'm just going to throw that out there. I actually
Right.
don't think, but just
so you never know. But you know what? I was thinking about, and we actually caught up on this, is my funniest moment happens to be your funniest moment. And, you know, we talked about, we became ministers at a time when, you know, our mentor and teacher had a very big loss in his life, right at the beginning of our studies, and talk about forming the truth for us, right? Because we watched him go through that process in a very painful and yet philosophy driven way. I mean, if it wasn't for this philosophy, I don't know that he could have gone on teaching. We missed one class. You think about that. We missed one class during that period of time.
Yeah.
And so that was incredible to witness and be part of. And then we had a pandemic. Yeah. One of the things that the pandemic did, though, or the stay at home, because it was right at the beginning, was it forced us all to be online, and I did all my training online. And so suddenly all of the class was in this classroom environment, and there was a few of us online, and then all of a sudden we were all online. And so I actually got to know you and Eric and Tiffany and, you know, Michelle and all of the people who've gone on to be doctors, by the way. I managed to see all of you, you know, and be part of a community in every way. And one of the funniest things was I think we called it spiritual squares instead of Hollywood squares. Yes. And it was our way to study Troward. And people said they got so much out of that because we did it in a fun way. You know, truth or false, or what's the true answer? And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. I loved, and then at the very end, well, yeah, because we incorporated the pandemic. Do you remember this? We pretended to hand each other toilet paper. Yes,
we did toilet paper across to each person on the screen.
As if we were in the square. Now, the funny part of it is because everyone was on everyone else's square, we were not on the correct square. So I would be handing you the toilet paper this way and you were on this side. So,
right. So I'd reach over this way. It was because we weren't on the same screen, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and it was talking really about Troward. And I think really, you cannot not talk about Troward and what his main edict, which was the purpose in life is to enjoy it.
Yes.
That really is if you really kind of just stop for a second and go, wow, that's really it. That's the purpose in life. That is the purpose in life.
Filled life. To live a joy-filled life.
And then everything else is just like icing on the cake. Yeah. You don't have to be the best doctor, the best lawyer, the best mother, the best father, the best whatever, the best engineer, whatever it is. Like all you have to do is enjoy life.
Yes.
Anything else that you do past that, it's an amazing experience.
And be the best inside out. Let that out. That's the most important thing. You know, Dr. Liza, we're going to actually have you as a guest minister sometime. I know we are.
I would love that.
I think our community would love you. Well, I know our community is going to love you. But we have access to some of your presentations that you do at the Global Truth Center as well. So
that's right.
I'm talking with James about possibly streaming through our streaming services and possibly Wednesday streaming through Global Truth, Center's services. So we're setting that up. I wanted sort of all the kinks to be worked out. We've only been at this a couple of months. So,
well, I think you guys are doing phenomenal. I have to say, I've seen, some of the talks that you've given with, practitioners and how you guys do it. I mean, it is a really well-oiled machine.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's good to hear that.
Well, I'll say this, a really well-oiled machine with amazing midweek messages.
Well, thank you. That's exactly what we're working towards. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You will be back. I know you will be back.
100%. I would love that anytime.
And you are welcome anytime. And just like there are no coincidences, our community needs to know this, actually, that, I had a few people in mind when I talked about starting out this Wednesday night thing. And you were one, and Dale Olansky was one, and Reverend Dale and Dr. Lori. And so it's funny how it's all coming together. Dr. Eric Overholzer, we got to get him on here one time and have a chat too. I think we'd love him up here as well. Dr. Liza, you are amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. This has been amazing and wonderful and very prosperous for me in consciousness.
Very good.
So thank you.
You asked, you reached out. I was already thinking, who else could we think about? You were in my consciousness. I talked about you with a couple of our members, and there you showed up. So so it is. And so it is, exactly. Thank you. And we'll see you in just a moment, but thank you. So at this point, I just wanted to basically talk about donations to help keeping us going. It's when people think of money, they get into their head a little bit sometimes. What I want to say is money is energy, energy is love. So give from a place of love. If you get something from this and you can donate what you can, just help us out. Whether it's $10, $20, $100, it's all the same in consciousness. So just know that, and know that it goes to, and know that it's going to help us keep giving this message out there. So keep that going. Also too, you can actually send it to info@globaltruthcenter.com, or you can go online and click there and figure out a way to donate through that as well. Just a reminder, we have classes on Tuesday nights with Dr. Lori, and those are going great. It's the Mystical Universe. Tune in for that. A reminder to all the members who are on and those who watch in future archives, because I know you do, remember that we have the AGM, our annual general meeting this week. It's February the 5th, Sunday at 11 a.m. Join us. I know we've got new board members, and we've got some news to share about the finances and how we see ourselves moving forward. So please, please, please join us for that. Remember to also, I'm going to announce it because don't forget that Pierre is also involved with a show that's coming up on February the 18th. So don't forget that as well. And that's at the Black Swan Tavern. So it should be on your screen here momentarily. There you go. All right. And so at this point, I just want to thank the incredible Carrie, who's doing all this maneuvering in the background. Thank you, Carrie, for doing that. It's vital. And we're hopefully going to be able to have somebody that helps carry out on a regular basis as well. I want to thank the amazing and incredible Pierre. Thank you, Pierre Gautreau, for showing up with your musical grace and talent. Beautiful. And to the magnificent friend of mine who pops in and out of my life just exactly when she needs to, the incredible Dr. Liza Marquez. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and thank you for being a part of this community. You are welcome with open arms, my dear. Thank you, anytime. And with that, I want to thank everybody in the community for bringing your consciousness here with us tonight. I'm going to turn it over to the amazing Pierre Gautreau, who's going to sing us out for the final song of the night.
All right, I think everybody knows this one. I'm doing my little spin on it. You'll recognize it. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, well, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, wait and see. Take a look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love, put a little love, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Woo! Put it in your heart and spread that stuff everywhere. Send out love, everybody. Namaste. Thank you. And we will see you next week. Namaste.